What's going on, guys? Kaiger here. We have more of the slime collaboration units. Today we're going to be talking about Diablo, the fire flower fairy for the team. Now first let's talk about the echo itself, because they added a new fire flower fairy, so they had to update the echo. So if we click on that, we had Searing Eyes level 4, which is a bit controversial in the community right now because they added max HP, which if we look at it, crit rate, crit damage, block ignore, those are all offensive stats. And even the effect itself, which does percentage of your attack in an AoE that's automatic crit, these are all offensive stats. So the max HP was a little weird for a lot of people. And then when we look to the right at level 5, it's quite a bit more for the AoE damage, but that's every 24 seconds. And the only other thing that changed was 3% more max HP. Now, this is probably, once we get to a point, I think what they're trying to do is make it so each element has 2 different paths. And fire is the first one we really see this happening with. And we see that with the last one we got, Winter Cherry, who is a defensive fire flower fairy. She's also offensive with her active effect, but her passive is very defensive. Quite a balance right there. Offensive PvE, but also defensive that could be used in PvP. Winter Cherry being a perfect culmination of Fire Echo. So let's check out what's going on with Diablo. So if we go over here, first I actually want to show you Rose's ability, and a lot of people are wondering where she is. It's been a long time since she's been around. I also love the little lines right here. They tell you a little bit about them. Right there, she was telling you ingredients for a drink because she's a mixologist in the game. But if we look, basic doesn't do anything, just regular damage. And then the effect does your attack in an area, putting poison of heat on the enemies. Poison of heat does damage over time, which is pretty huge, and silences the target every 5 seconds for 1.5 seconds. So as we scroll down, it mainly increases the amount. As we see, the only real upgrade besides percentages is at level 4, which I have right here. That increases it to increases to, oh, that's 0.4. No, it's just percentages. This is what we call a Gen 3 fairy. All of the Gen 4 fairies, like Winter Cherry, have a passive and then give you something special as they rank up. As we see, the flame amplification and flammability, 50%, all goes up. Now, Diablo doesn't have a passive. He is very reminiscent of what we just looked at with Rose being a Gen 3 fairy, but this would be our 5th one, so that doesn't really compute here. The passive basic attack, just like all the others, it just does damage. Let's see how the percentages stack up. 142, 4760. Let's see. Nowhere close. Let's check out Chestnut. More than Gen 1 fairy. Let's check out Gen 2 fairy. A little bit less than Gen 2 fairy, so he might push out Chestnut Rose just in the regular damage department. Now let's check out his ability itself and why I wanted to show you Rose before we talk about this. Expands barrier to deal damage of the master's attack against enemies in the area and silence for 3 seconds. So 5 seconds versus 3 seconds. So less time, but it hits multiple enemies, but you are missing out on Rose's bleed, burn, whatever you want to call it, the damage over time tick. So I actually have them both on the same team right here, and we're going to compare them in the dummy. Let's check it out. Leisure, dummy. And then once we're done doing a little test right here, we're not so much looking at the damage, we're looking at the speed of the auto attack, and then we're going to look at the how quickly the projectile is, how big the area is, and then I want to talk about how many stars you can reasonably get of him. So let's summon the dummy. Alright, I'm going to do one basic attack. So they both do their basic attacks. Rose is not doing hers. There we go. Okay. His basic seems... Yeah, he's lapping her. Okay. Yeah, now his seems faster than Rose's by a bit. And we're seeing faster, 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 and over time we're going to get to a point where he laps her again in basic attacks. So let's summon the dummy again, and then we're going to check out the ultimates. So let's see the range that I can cast it. Okay, even from all the way up here I can do it. And let's check him out. Yeah, so it does pick a target and then centers it on the target. So when his ultimate's back up, I'm going to see if I can target an area or if it has to be a target opponent. Let's summon that. Not targeting anything. Going to just click Rose. So she knows that's a target. Okay. Hold, click, I cannot control it. And let's see. 1, 2, about 4 steps. And a circle. And let's check the area here. Yeah, about the area of Moonslash. So let's check out. I'm going to do his dome. I'm going to see if we can move during it. So put it down and change. Okay, it holds up. And it is, okay, for reference, it's roughly the same size as the Thunder God spell for Priest. And bigger than the Frostworm spell. So that's looking pretty good. Now his basic attack seems fine. You're going to get good use out of him in PvE for his basic attack speed. As far as PvP, that area looks very similar to... Let's test one thing out. I want to test him with... let's remove her. Go to Holy. Grab Mistletoe, and then let's dummy. I'm going to stand in the middle, and then I'm going to put down hers, and I'm going to put down his. Okay. Yeah, hers is way bigger than his. So it's somewhere in between. And he also doesn't do a heal on basic attack or a heal when they... There's definitely differences there between Fire and Holy. But it seems like they try to make it something between Rose and Mistletoe. Because it does the AoE dome. I could see that being good in some PvP. Especially Shrine Peak could be interesting. It's not going to be as good as Holy. But this is a... quote-unquote free flower fairy that even the free-to-play can get if they've been holding on to resources for a while, waiting for events like this. Now let's check what star ranking you can reasonably get with him. So there are no packs or anything for Diablo. So right now we have him at 8 star, which is 3 yellow. And if we look at the Ascension, we can see 8 star right here, down at the bottom. It's going to take 1 more copy to go to 9, 2 more to 10, 2 more to 11, which means it's also going to cost 2 characters worth of stones. 11, 12, and 13, which is 3 red, is generally where we start saying fairies are playable. Once you get to the higher tiers, red 3 is nothing to scoff at. And then it starts becoming pretty hard to go past that point. So we need from 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need 11 more copies to go up there. And if we look at fire, we go to him. We don't have any currently on us. We had a weekly reset, and I got 1 copy of this bondstone because I wanted to see if it resetted, because it said refresh in the corner for the weekly reset, and I was unsure if that was going to happen or not. It did not. So we have 5 copies here that we can get. We have also already got from, where's it at? Puzzle. I already got him from Puzzle. Already got him from the quest. Nothing there. Slime login, there's 1 more to get of him. This is a bit unfortunate because the SEAS servers got 3 copies of him here. I'm unaware if they got the same amount across other things, but in this way they got more than we did. But I'm seeing 6 more that we can get, which puts us 5 off of getting there. I believe, yeah, that puts us at red 1, which is 11 star, needing 2 more copies to get to 12 star. So he is 5 copies away from being playable at the high tiers. If you have the sapphires to get him, go ahead and snag him up. You can go for that. If you are worried about the stones, a moderator on the official Discord, but no one from Arc Games themselves, have stated that the characters themselves are not coming back, but the stones are going to come back. So if you are not impressed by Diablo, you can get 1 copy of him. You kind of have to from doing events and stuff. And then the additional copies, you can save the stones that you may be able to use on an event character in the future, future collaboration, or all they mean by that is that we will get more stones to rank these up. But I believe in your fire setup for doing your elemental realm, fire, guild boss, things like this, just slap him on the bench on your formation, get the extra fire damage, let Winter Cherry do her thing. The bonus of the 3% extra HP isn't great, but I think for most players, he's just going to be someone you slap on the bench on your fire team. Let me know what you guys think about Diablo down below. Until next time, guys.